Hello, this is Divine Sunshine coming to you with your current energy read. Beforehand, if you did not get a chance, look at this is, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Divine Sunshine. I am a DM advocate. See about the different changes that I am having to this channel. Again, this is my third year. I'm being with the Twin Flame Journey. As far as with you guys collectively, I've been with this journey since 2012. So yes, I've been at this. I've been as it has ascended and changed, and all new different things have occurred. In the last video, you'll see me talking about what's currently going on as the energies with the divine masculine and the divine feminine, as well, and where we actually are. The divine masculine keeps on blasting in my ear. Let me find. I can find the lyrics. I guess I should have did that before I came on. For my anniversary special on January the 31st, which is a Friday at 8 p.m. Central, I am going to have a divine as a celebration, going back to the catalyst that started this whole career or this whole work journey, as far as helping you all, and being a now that I added on to my title, although I can't change on YouTube because I think I already changed before. Saying I'm a spiritual teacher, and I am a spiritual coach and an educator, and now I'm adding on to it, I am the divine masculine advocate. I talked to them and they channeled and said that if you have been with my channel before, you've seen a couple of times that the divine masculines have gotten together. A couple of them, maybe you the ones that on my channel are constantly. Their guys have came and got me and started to say things to me specifically and taking me to different places, in which they have kind of spilled out, and I call it the what they say, the player card and the man card, and they kind of told me a little bit of things was happening behind the scenes with the divine masculine. And felt comfortable, and they said that they felt because of divine masculine, my divine masculine, when I told them that, yeah, you can trust her. She's going to go on ahead and say it the way you all say it and not put an extra twist to it. And if I do, he's here to always correct me, say, that ain't what they said. So, and then I got my dad also, which is divine masculine too. It's helping because a lot of times I do a lot of channel readings from my mom, to help her to understand where his point of view was and where he is and why he did the things he did in his 3D body. And so all of them, they say they've been kind of watching me energetically, how I handle, and they say they trust me to do that. So what I am going to do is add that on to this channel, is more so of a divine masculine focus, and then also telling the divine feminines how they said they're going to also help me in saying how can the divine feminine help them as far as where they are and on their end. So this is where we're kind of going in now. I'm still going to have my educational things. I'm still going to have my morning drive. That's not off. And then I said I also am going to do more so to get it more tailor-made to each group. Excuse me, I'm going to do it by elements. I'm not going to go specifically and say Aries, Aquarius, and Sagittarius and all that stuff, because a lot of us, if we look in our chart, and I still say go in your chart and get that, so you can really see how you are affected and what really makes up you, astrology wise. I'm in agreement with that. And then so when I go through the things, you can see like how it affects your Venus, how it affects your moon, and your sun sign, and all those different kind of things as well. So that's very poignant as far as how that's going to affect you, as well. That just came to me. Maybe we should kind of, next time, Jupiter 1111, put a pin in it. Maybe we should kind of talk about the astrology and how that kind of plays a part, because you kind of go through each one of the parts, and maybe we should also, that came to me too, about how does that play a part as making up the totality of us, and how that affects as well. Maybe we could do that maybe in February with that one. We'll see. So that's something that really has to kind of really see. But my thing is that I'm going to do it more by elements, because again, with us being twin flames, you know, we made up the elements that is coming together with the air, the fire, the water, and the earth. Those things, that's what makes us that. The 4, the 11, 11, all together. I still keep that principle and philosophy there because that does have some validity to it. So that is one thing. So in order for it to do that, I'm just going to handle that away because some of us kind of bob and weave between those elements anyway. And you got to also remember, and I say this too, that whatever your divine masculine is, you also too show some of those character traits as well, you know. And I've seen that too in some ways. I was like, oh, okay, because I also see that's even in my chart, his sign as well, although I'm Aries and he's Aquarius. But my thing is I do see those two things kind of pretty much how they cross over. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm see why I'm acting that way, because that's kind of like how my divine masculine self expresses itself. So you know, you'll see that. So that's why I'm going to add that on to the channel. So enough of me rattling. Oh, okay, I'm going to stop at 5. Just kind of letting you know about those changes. And let me reintroduce myself. My name is but it was a song. He oh, Lord. He keeps on singing this, Lord, Babyface song. Oh, okay, okay. I get on. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That's good. It felt like it's a good vibration day too. Babyface. Lyrics to let me see, is this it? Nope, that ain't it. I want you. You baby. Okay, hold on. Okay, I cuss one as Babyface say. It said, I want you, baby, in the scariest way. I want you, baby, to stay with me. I want you, baby, all this hurt and the pain. I want you, baby, to stay with me. It's like he was saying all in that song. It's like, I know it's even hard. Maybe it's underneath the deal. It's hard for me. I'll look it up on YouTube and try to remember to post that. But it was like through the hurt and the pain. It's scary for me to do this. It's scary for me to say this, and it's scared for me to, and it's hurting for me to say this. But I want you to stay with me no matter what. And so it kept on, and it's keep on even playing now. And that's pretty much the thing that the masculine is kind of going through right now. He's going through some changes. Most of the changes are because of the divine feminine, the space that she's pretty much in as well. And let's look at the cards to kind of see, does it confirm what I said in the other, because I don't want to reiterate the same stuff that I had said in the let me reintroduce myself. Clear. Okay, so let's look at the divine feminine. Yeah, I want you, baby, and the hurt and the pain. I want you, baby, to stay with me. I want you, baby, though it's hurting to say. I want you, baby, to stay with me. Don't want you. That's why he keeps on. Now, divine feminines. You are Queen Esther, the morning star. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. This is what I'm saying about the divine feminine. Divine feminine at this point right now is like it's been a dissolve of the ego within the divine feminine, and right now it's like I'm in service with the soul, which means I'm at the point that I am following my bliss right now. I'm following what my spirit is telling me, which is very good and very good for me at this moment. I'll come back to that. I see now. I'll do that then. And so now she's trusting it. It's all up to divine timing. You know, I'm going ahead and do, as my dad said, I'm going ahead and do me. Wherever it leads for the divine master to do. If he's coming this way, that's great. I'm not making no extra efforts to cut off ties. It's just like right now, it's just like I'm just turning and just making sure I'm paying attention to what's going on with me. And this is showing here, and you're just leaving up to divine timing. Somebody said, and I cannot remember because, you know, I like to quote people saying that we were misunderstanding what it meant by divine timing. Divine timing is more so patience with that. We deal as far as it's being waiting. Oh, that's the divine Pisces 222. And she was saying that again. I said I know somebody in our little network they had stated that and said that, you know, that is true. It's not just like waiting and like I put my life on hold. It's like it's just like I'm just gonna keep on doing what I'm doing, and whatever's going on happen is gonna catch up to where I am. That's the way how I feel as well too, because like this week is the divine masculine's birthday, and you know, a lot of times because of the again him being in the dojo situation. If you're seeing in the other thing, I don't call it the karmic situation anymore. I call it a dojo place, because when I looked it up on air, you see in the go back to the video again. Instead y'all skipping and seeing about the card reading. Go back to see where I'm reintroduce myself. My name is Divine Sunshine, DM Advocate. In that video, I talk about how I look for another word for a hard teacher. And what pops up, it talks about the master in being in karate, like martial arts, which is interesting, which is most of a discipline. You know, you're training yourself for like the real, you know, real deal Holyfield, where you actually are practicing what principles that have been instilled with you by using your body and spirit. So, you know, in some ways that's funny how this almost mimicking the twin flame journey, where you're learning how to use spirit and body together. And that's why I always tell you, it's got to be that balance in your practice when you're doing it. It can't always be ethereal and up there in the sky in my spirit, and get in touch with my spirit, and you're leaving your body not in, or the physical aspect out of the whole process. And so they said again with the martial arts, they were stating, I said, nah, there won't be no sensei, because sensei, they were saying like the highest form, and you know what they're for, they're like really the master. It's a dojo, which dojo means a place, it's like a school, and it says it's the place to learn the way. And I was like, yes, that is exactly what it is. When we get into those situations, those dojo situations, it is, we're set there so we can learn the way. It's a dojo. So I'm gonna call it something else, because you know I like to call other words, like everybody say God or the universe or source, and I call it the powers that be, because I already know they had told me instinctually that we're more than just one thing. We're just a lot of energies, and for us to try to break it down to you, it'll blow your mind. You know, it's like my favorite Bible verse. Oh, my heart chakra is activated. Good. And the Bible verse where he said, I'm not going to show you the whole splendor of me. He said, I put you in the cleft to hide you. And he kept on asking and say, I want to see who you are in the greatest book of the world. And he's like, no, because if I do it, I'm going to blow your mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass by you, and I'm going to just see a little bit of me afterwards. And you're going to see just the glory of me, but you ain't going to see the whole totality of me. And that's the same thing, like I said about when I said the powers that be. It's just like we know a little bit of it, but we don't know the whole totality of what the basis of all these powers that play a part, as far as these light beings or whatever they are, that all play a part as far as the universe and controlling or ruling or whatever way they have an authority. I like that. They say they like that better. Having authority over the universe and how things move and about and have their being, which is us. So again, we're learning how to trust the divine and trust the process. And in trusting the process, we like forget it. So like I said, with the divine masculine, it being his birthday, I pretty much said, you know what? New year, new difference. This year, I'm going to just go ahead and just go ahead. I'm not doing anything about him, about the dojo situation. He in that situation. My new policy is I'm going to love the ones you with. Who's showing up here, who's there. So I'm going to treat this like it's my birthday too. And I'm going out and doing that. I done got me some tickets to go see Eric Benet and let him croon to me. And ain't no separation, so that'll be me and the divine masculine. We will be in him in his 50s self, me and my 3D self, being present there, having Eric Benet sing to me. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna tell the also DM in the 50. That's what's going down. I know his eyes gonna be like, oh, okay, interesting. So that's it. I can't keep on crying over no. It can't be saying about what coulda, shoulda, wouldas about that. I have to accept about what is being presented and going ahead and, like I said, trusting the soul divine timing and just going ahead and let that ego, the ego be like, well, I'm by here and by myself here in that dojo situation, XYZ, and now I'm just at my service to my soul and just like, we're just going to go ahead and make it do what it do. What we have. I'm going to have me a good time. So what is the energy as far as with the divine masculine? What is that showing? The current energies for them this week. Woo! I want you, babe, to stay with me. I want you, baby, through the hurt and the pain. I want you, babe, to stay with me. Don't you, babe? Got the Ace of Wands. Stay with me. Chase chalices and 9 challenges. Okay, so let's look at this. Ace of Wands. So the union, the magic of the statues in the fire. Abandon is the surrender of oneself. One loses his own likeness to enter into something much greater. So right now the divine masculine is saying, right as he looks at it, and that's funny, he got flames there. And again, the union, the magic of the statues in the fire. Losing himself. Like he said, he wants you. No matter what the hurt and the pain, it's like through all that stuff, I want you and I want you to stay with me. He is transforming himself. He is becoming into something else. Again, through this admiration that he has for the divine masculine, he is, and seeing her really being okay with the skin that she's in. She's open. She's vulnerable. She's not even trying to cover. Like, yeah, this is what I'm presenting. I told you, this is what I'm about. I'm unapologetic about what I'm presenting to you. And he's like, I'm just loving it, and the fire, the flames. Now, when I look at these statues, to me, it looks like the statues are like burning up the ego of the old self, that like the former self of what we used to be, okay? It's like purifying through the flames and rising just like a phoenix into something totally different than what it is. He is also within him. He's really embracing his emotions and seeing that, you know what, it's okay to be this way as far as emotionally. Really, yeah, emotionally, and really embracing that. And really, to me, it looks like he's taking things into introspection as far as we're looking at it. So he could be also nostalgic. I've seen that too. Some of them saying that the divine masculine is being very nostalgic, looking at the divine feminine and kind of wishing, like the way of how they used to be and kind of wanting that back again too. But I pick up this thing as just really being intimate. Like really, he wished that this week that he would, maybe some of them might reach out to touch and contact you because of these feelings that's being evoked in him. And he really wants to have that moment where it's just you and him. He looked like he getting ready to whisper some sweet nothings to you. So he might want to also communicate and say something to the divine feminine as well. 9 of chalices. which is like 9 of Cups. Okay, and that is Euphoria, the magic of the lantern. The light of the lantern ensures, okay, the magic of the lantern. The light of the lantern ensures the triumph of love, overwhelms the senses, and dispels rivals and hesitations. Right now, it's saying that the divine masculine is being overwhelmed by the emotions that he is feeling as far as with the divine feminine. He's at the point that dispels and rivals hesitation. So any kind of rivals as far as like if he's in these third energies or these dojo situations, with the dojo's situation, which is a place in which he learns the way, okay, with the dojo situations, I know it just opens up my heart that I came up with that the spirit brought that to me, and I was open and receptive to say, yeah, let's go with that. Excuse me, I'm sorry, trying to shift my leg up. That brings out another piece. He helps out to bring out the what's the fruits of this labor, because you've been doing work, which in turn has created him to do some work. The lantern to me is almost like also a way of shining the light to how you're housing this new enlightenment that you have, because a lantern has the power to be able to turn on and turn off at times too. So he's being able to control that enlightenment that they have, because sometimes you get new ideas, new enlightenment about something, you won't take off and go with that. You're almost ready to tell everybody about themselves. Like, nah, spirit told me about X, Y, and Z about you. And and you're like, person like, I didn't really ask for no unsolicited advice from you about how you see me and what path I'm supposed to go on. I have to even stop myself too. Sometimes I find myself like that, like spirit don't. And sometimes people are like, okay, well, thank you, or some of them are like, I wasn't really asking for your insight into me. I already know you're gifted, but I wasn't asking for that. So also, and how you fan, when I see this fan here, is how you fanning the flames as well, as far as this passion. So, this really here again is going beyond him. Not really, I know he's trying, that's kind of awkward. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm looking at this, what I'm picking up from here. To me, it still looks like he's kind of like struggling with the divine masculine, with his analytical, his thoughts, and his emotions, but in his body language, it looks like he's saying, I'm really willing to try. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know how to really juggle this emotions that I'm feeling here, but I do know that I want this. Like he said, he keeps on bringing this, and he keeps saying it to myself, I want you, baby, in the scariest way. I want you, baby, to stay with me. Okay, so what is the heart of the matter? I do this. He said, don't you use them for me. This is how he's thinking there, and that's the energies for both of them. So, clear. Let's look and see what the heart of the matter is. And say, no, don't do that. But I am going to do that, because I'm going to do it for you. I got your overall energy. We can do that for the divine feminine. And I'm trying to see, because I whatchamacallit. Okay, this is all. This whole collective. I'm trying to see that, because it's like, nah, it's really all. So really on both ends, you're right. On both ends, what we're doing, I'll get the clarifiers out. In the hearts of the matter of both is really letting go of control issues, letting your friends help you, and unrequited love. Now, what it's telling me is this, is that right now, the divine feminist's got to get control of control issues as far as trying to control this situation. Again, as far as being with divine master, wherever he is in this third energy situation, or in this dojo situation, in which he's trying to find his way, learning his way through this. The school that he's in right now. And so letting go of the control issues and allow this situation to unfold away, as opposed to, like I said, with the divine feminine. Again, we have round and round, which again is ending the cycle, to end the cycle of this. And so also the divine masculine is right now again letting go control issues about where he is as far as in this dojo situation, which again is a place to learn the way. Okay. And so he's learning that as well. I'm gonna put this right here, and I'm gonna keep this here so I can remember that. I would have this backwards. God dog it. That's all right. Dojo, a place to learn the way. So with that, it's ending that cycle of this round and round and round again. The cycle is now at this point is some of these divine masculines or divine feminines. If you're at the point that you really want to stop where you are right now, this is the prime time for this to actually happen and occur. Sorry, I know it's moving around. This is the prime time for this to actually happen and occur right now. You know, I seen they had on there, I'm sorry, segment on one on Facebook. They showed them chairs where you able to sit cross-legged in. Sucker was like $1,000, but I sure would love to have one of those things, because sometimes I want to just sit cross-legged. I don't want to sit with my legs straight down, and I don't have no means or anything to put on that to make sure that that can I can happen. I can cross my legs, but they got a cross-leg chair. Thought that was fascinating. The next one we have here is in our matters of the heart for both the divine feminine and divine masculine is let your friends help you. Again, with the divine feminines, what I feel now is going on, the divine feminine is finding more so that she is linking more with her divine feminine counterparts. I'm going to see if I can back up a little bit more with this. Her divine feminine counterparts. Because I ain't that big. Oh, hold on a second. I'm sliding. I'm going around. Yeah. Don't be laughing at me. Okay. Woo. Because I feel like I wanted to stretch. I got to hold my leg too. Yeah. So she's at the point right now as far as letting her friends help her. The divine feminine is helping and find out. I'm seeing there's a lot of connection between the feminines with another feminines. We're doing a lot of interconnecting as far as spiritual. Like I might find myself like, I did a reading, I told you before, for one client, and she turned and said, well, can I do something back for you? And she did. I found a lot of that doing. You find yourself with divine feminines instinctively doing that. Like I had one of my former students. She has she's a truck driver, African American truck driver, and she has this business called She Clutch. You can look up on Facebook. She SHECLUTCH. She is bringing awareness through her t-shirts. Now see that she on her mission and purpose too, so she probably is twin too. For her mission is to bring awareness about truck driving and how you shouldn't cut them off. I can't see, give me a break. It's all on her little t-shirt. So when I put in an order for one of her t-shirts, she's supposed to send me one. And today I just woke up and I said, you know what, that's enough. We got the money. Go ahead and pour into her energetically by getting her t-shirt, getting a hoodie. I got a hoodie. And then in turn, she will, that pour into her. And then, we pour back into each other energetically. Whether it comes from her as a source, it might come from somebody else. It doesn't matter. So we are really having that interconnectedness as far as divine feminines right now. That's very strong. I feel that, and I've seen that happen. Also with the masculine, he's finding out, he's asking for help. Just like I had did in that reading, where he's also actually reaching out, talking to people, letting them know about the situation where he is. Like he reached out and said, okay, to help this in this area in his life that he said, I'm tired of it. Just keeps on happening. I got to do something. So they're going out to get support about some of these things that they see that really is no longer serving them. In unrequited love here, this goes for both we're, again, going back to that where I say there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Again, the divine feminine is getting to the point that what she's doing is she's saying, you know, right now it's not like I'm saying deuces to the whole journey thing, but it's some things that I'm seeing that's perpetually going on and over again, that I'm saying that I'm not really happy with this going on like this. And it's got to be some changes, and I'm not going to keep on signing the co-signing with this through my silence or me being here with this whole thing happening and occurring the way it is. So this is kind of like almost unrequited love. It's not enough love for me to stay here in this. It's like, again, it's not enough energy of exchange of energy for me to keep on pouring into this like this. So this is one way of saying that. And that's not just only for the DM, that's also saying about anything in life that no longer serves her as well. She too is going through some things that she might be in some dojo situations that she's saying, okay, I was put in this place to learn my way. I found it and I'm gone. Okay, there's the door, that's the nearest exit, and that's my way of getting out of this. The same thing with the divine masculine. He's at the point right now, he's realizing, they're telling me, in his thinking that, you know, this is not the way, this is not where I want to be. Oh, okay, I forgot. Clarifies to let your friends help you while they're going out, while both of you all are trying to find support, is because you're trying to release that divine masculine energy with you all, which is helping you to get more of your thinking process on board to release and to receive things. So this is why about this exchange of information from whoever this support person is, they're going to have to release things, get you a better way of thinking about yourself, get you a better way of thinking about the situation, which is in turn going to make your divine masculine within and so without much stronger too. When we talk about unrequited love, you want this because you want this new beginning, this new life. You're coming out the shell. You want to really uphold and revere and honor your emotions and things as well. And so, you know, you got these new wings. Look like they're kind of new to me when I look at this. Like they just like newly formed. Like I told you all, with I was going through me, and I felt like I was just like last week, I was just breaking down. I felt like I was in a chrysalis and everything within me was becoming liquefied. So I might have had, like you say, dark night of the soul, where the ego was just actually dying, because I told you I took me a salt bath and I cried in the bath, and then I came out of it and I was like, okay, I know what to do. I got to get the education thing off the table. It's got to go. Still struggling with it, saying, is that my right decision? You know, but at the same time, I also seeked out help. I talked to my friend, and she had gave me some things, like, you know, it told me about how people may have viewed me and said that that's where they thought that that's the way I was going, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's where God told me, or the powers that be told me that's the way I wanted to go. That's how they seen me, which helped to give me some good clarifies and a good empowerment about myself. Okay, so now let's look and see if clear with the divine feminine. What are we? What do we need to work with this coming week? And for the divine masculine, what do we have to work with this week? Atonement for the divine feminine. So again, you being a sacrificial lamb to me, that's really find yourself, I got to atone for this and that, and at the same time you got all of the swords and things. You know, you're just letting everybody just use you as a pin cushion for everything. And so that's why I say you in the point where you're saying, no, you're getting rid of, you still got to wrestle with that, but understanding that you can't let everybody pin, this is what I'm picking up for the divine feminine, pin all their hopes and dreams, the aspirations where they think who and you should actually be. And you've got to really kind of get to the point to saying, okay, I've atoned for that, for me missing the mark on some things, whatever the things that you view me as, and I got to release and let that go. So that's where you are, because again, you pretty much letting people put all their daggers and swords, and you become a pin cushion, and you're not really being able to move forward with all of, or have movement of mobility with all that that's going on there. For the divine feminine as well, for divine masculine, sorry, as well, you have artificial heart again. That's what we said about this unrequited love, going around really faking it till you make it, and then you really ain't faking it because you're not really able to see your crown chakra. This is the back of the upper heart. This is the upper heart chakra. I know that. Uh, uh, and that. So we got the heart chakra, and he got an artificial heart. You feeling too much, and this one is not divine masculine, not feeling enough. Right here. So you just going around as a robot emotionally, and just saying, I'm okay, it's okay, and not really being in touch with what's going on. You pushing it down, you're suppressing it, and you're not really actually dealing with what's actually happening or going on. And that's true, because I can feel that even with my DM a lot of times. He's sending that stuff over my way. It's like to me, I feel like a drain or something like that. And with that infinity sign, he's pushing it back my way. And it's like, okay, I can feel it, but I have to energetically push it that way and say, no, deal with it. That's how you was able to kind of go on through life, because I was always taking it in. Well, I take it in for the team. I'm going to take it in for the team. And it's like, nah, that's your stuff. Take that right on back over there on your side, and you deal with that stuff yourself. And that's where I'm at now. It's like, nope, I ain't doing it. So it's like, because if you love somebody, you suffer for them, and X, Y, Z. And then it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's your energy. That is you, that is you, that is you. Okay, so put this over here, because this is both our energy. This is her, this is him. Okay, so now, clear. What we're going through, how does that serve a purpose for us right now? Okay, how does that serve a purpose for us? Again, I've seen that before. Spiritual teachers, for us to heal with your classes, sessions, and seminars. So through the lessons that you're getting, it helps you to be able to be a spiritual teacher or become a light worker as well, to be able to take what you have learned and shine the light on yourself for the dark areas, to be able to shine the light on others so they can know the pathway as far as where they're going. Talk to your angels. Instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. This stuff, the energy that we're in now, it serves a purpose for us to be able to understand that we have to seek divine counsel or divine guidance, which means outside of ourselves, for the answers, and really to get into our divinity, really check in with our higher self or the source or the powers that be for our answers. And so that's what it is for us to be able to do that and to stop worrying, because again, worrying is faith backwards, which you don't have any forward movement, and it stops for any kind of further manifestations to actually happen and occur. Let's look for the divine feminine. What is the overall theme? Clear. Whoa, okay. So the overall thing we're dealing with is intentions and forgiveness, okay? Now this looks like this is divine master. So in our thinking, we're being able to intentional in our purpose as far as what we're doing is making these shifts, because everybody looks like they're transforming. They're changing into some other things, and we're learning how to control these emotions. Seems like in order for us to be able to do that, the two chakras that we need to kind of deal with here in far as intentions is our solar plexus. So that's with the color orange there represented there. So again, in our thinking, we got to be intentional so we can help guide and create the ebbs and flows in our emotions. We also have to, as far as this, also have to deal with forgiveness. To me, she looked like somebody of the past. So I'm saying also about things in the past, maybe us missing the mark, maybe getting into these dojo situations as well. But however, we got to remember, we got to forgive it because they came as a lesson and a blessing, and they help us to learn how to find our way. So we have to learn how to do that, even with what's going on with the divine masculine and divine feminine, our counterparts. Rather, they did something that we approved of, or we say was in our favor. Okay, clear. What do we have to surrender? Divine feminine. We're gonna go separate there. Okay, these both came out for her, and for the divine masculine. Jeez. Okay, last time I didn't do that. And you was like, you didn't do it because I told you to do it, but you didn't do it. So, surrender to habit of people-pleasing, divine feminine. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. That's this. That's represented by this card right here. Told you got to work through that. Again, and so that again, just do you. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about divine masculine. Like I said, right now you're in the thing of you saying, I'm just following my own path. You know, he's going to be, you speak your own truth. As long as you're coming from a place from truth, people, you know, you're not responsible for anybody else's reaction to you speaking your truth or being in your truth or you standing in your truth. You know, you're not responsible for that. Say, what you think of me is none of my business. And that's rather, and it's very hard, because especially when it's your divine masculine or somebody you love, you know, you feel like I owe you an explanation. You don't owe her anything, you know. I say, then I had a conversation with my mom and stuff, and she's talking about, well, you let me know about everything else, but then you kind of secretive. No, it's not secretive. I just don't owe you any explanation in certain areas of my life. Other things I'll let you in on, but certain things that I feel is personal, is pertaining to the twin flame journey. Some of those things I do not let her privy into that, because again, you know, like I said, I'm pretty protective of it, and you know, if I don't feel your energies is on board with where myself and my DM is going, it's so much I'm gonna let you in on, you know. And so she's not the first person I've said that to, and it's not nothing to take even personal. It's just that it's like, you know, I don't need for you to, your reaction, me being empathic, for me to start taking in your, well, she kind of frowned when I said this about him, and she didn't look like she's on board. Now that gets me to thinking, and my crown chakra gets it. Then before I know everything that I worked so hard to kind of be strong in is now start being questioned and start breaking down because of this interaction or this conversation that I didn't have with you. So I'm just not going to go there with you. So surrender worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. Right, worry is faith working backwards, okay? So we don't want that at all. We want us to have forward movement when it has as far as in our faith. And again, in this emotions, we got this swing kit. Remember, I told you the other day when I did the with Jupiter 11:11 about that. We want the emotions to have that real flow with everything, the natural flow, which is whatever what comes up must come down. Do 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 do. So everything we wanted to have that natural following the natural laws of being. We don't want to go against. For the divine masculine, we have surrender to miracles. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance. Banish any doubts that miracles can happen. Miracles can happen in the divine twin, divine unisouls partnership. These dolphins always also a symbolism of the twins as well. And so even in your emotions, being able to take that deep dive and knowing and letting go of the illusions. I see a moon there about as far as what this twin flame journey is and what it's about and where it is actually going. Believe there are miracles. Again, surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. So again, we look at, again, divine masculine, you got to look at your heart, see how you are actually expressing, how you closing it off. Again, are you closing off because you're in that dojo situation or that third energy situation? But like I told you, when you do that, you also close off your heart to the people that you actually want to come in. So again, in order to protect your heart is to open your heart, not to close off your heart. That's something you got to keep in mind. Surrender to spirit. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine and let spirit work its magic for you. So it's like, after you done all you can, you just stand. So again, that's one of my dad's favorites, gospel songs. So after you've done the divine masculine, you just let spirit take over. You've got the knowledge. You got the, because you say you can't see the forest beyond the trees. You are at the point that I see with the sunlight. When you start letting go, you will be able to see the trees beyond the forest, or the forest beyond the trees, because you let the sun come in. Like, let the sun shine, let the sun shine in, the sun shining. Like the Age of Aquarius song that say, let the sun shine in, let it in, let the sun shine in, like divine sunshine. Let the sunshine in. Okay. We did surrender. Let's look at what things after we have done that. Clear. What changes will occur for the divine feminine? What changes, life changes, should occur this week for the divine feminine? What life changes should occur for the divine man? Jesus Christ. You're doing a lot of talking. For the divine feminine is retirement. Retirement to me is like letting go of those things. And this is a very pretty pink here, which is getting into your higher heart chakra, which means to me is your passion when it comes to love. What things do you really find your bliss in? This here is where it is. And then you got your sacral and your solar plexus, which is interesting because I remember here in Jupiter 11 it's talking about that your passion was housed in your solar plexus. And I believe when I see this bright pink, this fuchsia-like pink, is also talking about passion in a form of love. Because, you know, you got different types of love. You got the egos love, the ones, the friend love, the ones passionate, like I want you. I want you the right way. And I want you. And I want you to love me too. Want you to want me too. Just like I want you. Right. So you that type of love, you know, you got the friendly, the love burning, the spiritual love. You got those all different types of love. So this one here is the passion one. So you're gonna retire all those other things to give way to what you are really truly in bliss and love for, and have these connections with these other people and standing in your power with your solar plex. For the divine masculine here, we have here, which is spiritual growth. He too is learning how to become more passionate in the upper heart chakra, with that love theme, finding this bliss about really loving, about him opening up himself, really finding his self-love as well. Divine masculine, you know, you kind of sometimes have a little kind of struggle in the area of expressing love because of society and not because of your choosing to do, but really fully being able to express it like you want to. I see some things that I would tell you to kind of work on. Divine masculine would be your heart chakra, because the heart chakra is a little kind of green, but it's not as bright as I would like it to be. You have also, you got orange, which there is, you have the solar, the sacral as well. And the sacral, there's a funny thing when I look at this picture, the sacral energy, which is your relationships and your passion, is all kind of blending in together. So that to me is your pathway to your spirituality as well, as for you to get that spiritual growth. So you're going to experience some life changes. The life changes this week is about that spiritual growth. Okay. For the divine feminine, what is when these things they come out? Let's do it again. because I didn't ask question. Clear. Divine Feminine, what is the divinity that you're going to be working with this week? Oh, okay. Okay. Divine Feminine, you are going to be working with grief and anger. To me, grief means letting go of those things that no longer serve a purpose, and letting go of the anger as well, because some of us, it's kind of been hard for us to have some peace with that. And really, like I say, maybe some of us are also having problems also sleeping at night. So we've got to kind of work on that, because we're doing a lot of major changes of letting go. And us coming from this spirit of energy of this all the time and people pleasing people all the time, this would cause grief and anguish and anger about, like, you know, how did I get myself into this situation, how I'm going to get out of this, how they going to view me. It's going to cause all those type of issues as well. When we're talking about, oh, I'm sorry, wait a second, it was a lie. I'm sorry for Divine Masculine. Let me get myself on task. For Divine Masculine, he said, no, I got some more cards. For you, also spiritually, this week you got life changes and spiritual growth. You are stronger than you know. You also have memories, so you also here dealing with things of the past. I told you it was being nostalgic. I felt that very much. So you know, how you going to stand in your power as far as being nostalgic, and how's that's now going to fast forward and pull that into now where you are. So this is something that you've got to work with as well. And then you also have volunteers. So you're going to be able to volunteer. So you're going to really start this week, I think, going into your mission a little bit more. I've seen that even with my DM too. How you'll be able to relate with others, creating that intimacy, and how you're going to communicate, because blue is there too as well. And so those are the things in which you're going to volunteer your services to others, you know, not expecting anything in return as well. It's just that that's something that you feel like you're going to put out there and just say, I'm just here for you. I'm open. You can use me. And that's it. So he might be also Divine Master. Some of them that are awakened and ready, they're probably at the point that they're saying, okay, I'm going to work on my mission. I'm going to go ahead and volunteer myself and go out there and say, okay, what do you need me spirit for? Some of them are ready for that next kind of step forward for that. Yeah, again, like I say, volunteer. Say you can go ahead and use me. Someone might open themselves up into the powers to be and say, okay, you can go ahead and use me and do whatever it is next that you have to. Maybe someone might even open themselves up to say, I want these towers. You know, it's gone. Like Divine Pisces 22 is like, I'm tired where I am. You know, you could uplift me for service to try to see if maybe I can make these changes, like this volunteering for experiment, and say, go ahead and experiment on me, baby. Me being in this dojo situation, a place to learn the way. Maybe if I volunteer myself to say, go ahead, just use me and do what you have to do, I might be end up in a better place. I might be end up with the place that I want to be. Okay. Also, the divinity that you have to work with, Divine Masculine, would be Goddess of Rage. Learning how to get upset. You know, that's one of my movies that my dad liked, which was Chinatown. When the man screams out the window, say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I was like, why did I like that movie? But somewhere in between them, probably he did like that movie for that reason. So you got, oh, that's interesting. That same thing like Ra. Again, Goddess of Ra, that rage. That means in the emotional self, you know, your feminine side, being able to take courage and kind of get control of your ego to say, okay, it's a healthy way for us to be enraged about what things is going on. Now let's take that enragement about the situation that we are, this third energy of this dojo situation that we're in, and then actually say, how's that going to propel us to move forward? And with you asking those questions, like I said in the morning drive, those probing questions, those solutions, I say questions. Yeah, it's like probing and questioning yourself and solving and coming up with the solutions is going to help to give you encouragement as far as what's the next actual step you want to take. Okay, now with the divine feminine, let's get our imparting words. What does the divine masculine want to say to the divine feminine? What does the divine feminine want to say to the divine masculine? Clear. What does divine masculine want to say to divine feminine? And what does the divine feminine want to say to the divine masculine? She's like, I ain't got too much to say. He already know. Divine masculine wants to say, woo, here we go. Back to what you love. Your current situations is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. Again, I told you in my morning drive, take time to calibrate and recalibrate where you are. So you might say, okay, this is where I am right now. This is where I was back in the past, but now things are not working. So let me calibrate to the things that I actually want to and align myself with that. Okay? That's why I say this morning drive things are really good, because although this like me talking in conscious flow, but I'm getting challenged too to help you all to get the keys. That's why I say this is good, but those things that I've been doing my series on you, training your brain and the habits of the mind and how you can retrain it to help you with the heart and mind to get in alignment with what you want. That's one thing. Also, he says, choose love. You always have a choice as to what you should do. And you do, you know, he's like, okay, cool. If that's what you're doing, you say, right now I'm concentrating on myself. Also, he's saying about this people-pleasing thing. He's looking at it and he's talking to you like a friend. It's like, listen, you have a choice to do whatever you want to do when it comes to love. You ain't got to sit up there and please everybody else, okay? And then also, show simple acts of kindness. A simple act of kindness can energize you and bring happiness to those around you. So again, that's funny. It looked like you're mirroring, because he said he want to volunteer and help out. And you saying, yeah, okay, so right now I'll take the lead in helping you to understand, to show simple acts of kindness, which means to volunteer and not do things that don't expect anything in return. Because it's going to energize you as you do it. So, you know, this is a good thing. This is nice. So look at some things and ways in which you can maybe also volunteer as well. Divine feminines. And then he has, do something for someone else. He keeps on saying, give your attention to someone else. So he's saying in some ways, I see you talk about I'm doing my own thing. I'm releasing the ego. I'm trying to get my stuff together. But he's saying again, I pick it up for him and saying, don't get so much into me and like the, you know, hand, talk to the hand, I'm busy kind of attitude, and just don't forget about, you know, I'm here. You know, I understand by what I've done in the past, which has caused me to be in the semi-proverbial doghouse with you, or some kind of way of why you treat me the way you are treating me, but just don't forget to still, you know, do something for someone else. He keeps saying that, okay? And the divine feminine wants to say to the divine masculine, true love. This love is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, which to me, what the divine feminine is telling the divine masculine is like, you know, I think in your mind, you thinking like, you keep on, I think it's called, is that the Nine of Cups? I've learned that from Daniellleboomlle, and he was saying that like that cup, that card represents like he's got options, and he's leaving one of those cups for like, I'm gonna try all these other different kind of things, like you in the ice cream, like it used to be when you were in Baskin Robbins when it first came out, they would let you try a whole bunch of other different kind of flavors until you selected the one that you actually wanted them to pack up and give you a quart of or a pint of. And that same thing is like, I'm around here just tasting everything or doing everything, but at the same time, divine feminine is telling you divine masculine, that must have some validity. I sure did hear it go bubble. That's divine masculine. that wants you to know that, listen here, this is a lifetime thing. I mean, you know, you can keep on doing it, but we don't want to get to the point that one of us check out or get so tired and go ahead and move on. And then it's like, now we got to start from square one. Or you trying to make good with me and I'm on the other side. And now you want to say, now I'm ready for the relationship. And it's like, okay, so what we carry on in the ethereal, I'll be in the spirit and you be the body. You know, I was there. You had time, but you kept on playing around like we had lifetimes, you know. And I'm telling you, I was in the body then. So I think about it like my mom and dad. It's like, it's kind of too late now. Once you woke up and how much I love you, now you kind of on the other side. So now what? So how we going to do this? We can't go out no dates, nothing. Go to, I say, we can't go no Ponderosa. We can't do that. So it's like, nah. So that same thing, like she's saying to be the divine feminine, saying, I'm saying this really nicely to you, but I'm letting you know that the biological clock, like Mr. Tomei say, and my cousin Vinny is kind of ticking. I mean, I'm waiting on divine timing too, but I'm letting you know at the same time, you know, this is a once in a lifetime thing. So if you can push yourself to take the risk, to stop getting into nostalgic moments and to go ahead and actually say, okay, I'm going to move forward with this and kind of slide yourself 1 foot off that fence that you've been on there for the longest, that would be most helpful. And really look at the value of what this is. This relationship, and I know, and a lot of divine masculines have woken up and they know what it is, because I told you my divine masculine said they really in a metaphysical relationship. Our relationship is different and unique to any other kind of relationship that's out there. And I was like, okay, either you've been researching, you done got a download, it done finally hit you, you know what this actually is. So a lot of them already know what this is. They might not can't put their finger on it and have exact to it, but they already know that it's unique and it is different. And you're like, okay, well, since you know this, then understand this is a once in a lifetime thing. And when you have a once in a lifetime thing come your way, you know it is time for you to act, because you never know when that once in a lifetime thing may come around again. So again, overall message from the universe. Clear. It's not only about being right. Okay, that's for both of you all. In all tests, so when I read this, it means like you thinking that you're right by you acting the way you is, say I'm on my own, doing my own thing, like Pat LaBelle, and then the divine masculine saying, you know, it's not all about right, like I'm waiting for the right time and the right time to come be with you. I got all these situations and things that I'm in right now, and understanding that, you know, that's him thinking that he wants to be right too. So in all tests of character, when two viewpoints are pitted against each other, in the final analysis, the thing that will strike you the most is not who was right or wrong, strong or weak, wise or foolish, but who went to the greater length in considering the other's perspective. Don't you agree? The universe. All right, so now let's look at how we're supposed to shine. That's overall. Clear. I was supposed to shine this week. Don't be afraid to be amazing. Andy offered Irwin. That's new. And inside us, there is everything. We just have to look for the moniker for it. Right. Inside us, there is everything. We just have to look for it. Monica Bellucci. Very good. Nice place to end the segment right there. So again, join me on January the 31st, 8 p.m. Central for my celebration of relaunching or reintroducing the Divine Unisouls 11 channel. We will start off by doing some DM readings, a little bit of what's going to happen, what's happening, what's being said from the dojo's point of view, of what situation's point of view, and then also then get for $5 on air. I will look into your situation as far as what the karmic or either the DM wants to say to you. All right, then, as always, imparting. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Love you.